Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
What is happening, y'all? Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day, whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz. Look, we're diving deep and keeping it real, so please do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join today's conversation. I hope you all, for one, are having a wonderful evening. I am thrilled to bring to you some great conversations and actually a new segment that I'm going to be presenting in to you all that we're going to open up the show for quite some time, because there's a lot of it's a great segment, and I've been always asked by folks, hey, look, what who serves what is their position, this and that and the other. And not only will it be educating you, it continues to educate myself, because look, I don't know everything, as I mentioned times and times again here on this program. So we're going to be learning together as family, y'all. So as always, thank you so much, y'all, for taking the time out your busy schedule to spend just 1 hour with yours truly here on the Arrington Gavin Show. For those who happen to be watching us on YouTube right now, do me a favor, like, subscribe, share with a friend, share with fam. As you see right there, you see, for those who are watching us on the screen, like, subscribe. We want to keep those numbers growing and that momentum coming. So I truly would appreciate if you can do that and give us a thumbs up. Right, it helps with the algorithm, and we got to build this up together. So I truly appreciate it if you can continue to support that way as well. In addition to watching us on YouTube, you can also check out past episodes of the Arrington Gavin Show on GoatVerse TV. Do me a favor, you can download the app. It's on the App Store, Google Play Store, Roku, or Amazon Fire TV. It is a Black-owned, independent-owned station, TV station, filled with so many amazing content and programs like yours truly. So I truly appreciate if you can all support. In addition to that, you can listen to the Arrington Gavin Show wherever you get your podcasts. We're available on all major podcast platforms, and you can also listen to us on the radio airwaves. That's right, my friends. You're probably listening to us right now from one of our affiliates like WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about. You can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights at 7 p.m. Central Time. Again, that's only on WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about. Then we're going to go on to the Metro Atlanta area to WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk. You can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, only on WDJY 99.1 FM. All right, my friends. On today's show, what do we have on tap for you all? So, holding elected officials accountable, holding these political parties accountable, because when one side is bashing the other and then something happens to their party, then they want to play the victim and this and the other. No. Call hypocrisy when it needs to be called. When someone in their own party does something wrong, you need to hold them accountable, especially if they refuse to say something or respond. Right? I get it. You're trying to make your team look good, but when something is obviously a big no-no and you walk away from that, I'm not a fan of it. In addition to that, y'all, so I know a lot of folks that run for office. I know a lot of folks that currently in office on a local, state, hell, even a federal level. And one thing that I do not like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't like it when, okay, it's campaign season, right? It's campaign season. And during campaign season, organizations, companies, so on, they always love to host forums, debates, you name it, ways you can get in contact and get to know these candidates. And so I'm not naming any names, but I have seen folks where, okay, they're running for this position. They have an opponent. They're the nominee of their party, and they're running against somebody from the opposing party. There are functions, debates, that have been scheduled. And look, you have debates where they might be hosted by more conservative leaning folks. You have debates where they're primarily hosted by more liberal folks. I look at it like this: you should not avoid entering into the lion's den, because at the end of the day, that's the people. The people are always going to press you and question you and hold you accountable when tough issues are asked. You should not, in a sense, avoid answering them or not appear or not show up. I look at it like this: I'm not a fan when strategists tell their candidates, don't show up. That's just going to be a back and forth. They're going to embarrass you. It's going to make you look bad. Vice versa, vice versa. Well, look, the fact that you showed up, to me, shows that you got a pair. You know what I mean? That's just where I'm from. That's just where I'm from with it. If I don't show, there could be folks that, I mean, because look, regardless of the political affiliation, you're trying to win the overall. You're not trying to win just to one side. You already done that. That's why you're the candidate. You're trying to win the overall. You're trying to win liberals, conservatives, independents, all around. So for me, and I hope candidates are listening to this program, bump what your manager or your consultant, your strategist tells you, or the party your affiliate leadership tells you. Show up. Show up. If you know, if you mean what you say and you say what you mean, then answer it. Even if the crowd don't like it, hey, you're being upfront of your beliefs. Let the people make that vote come election day. But you know what time it is. You know what I mean? I respect, regardless if I might not even gonna vote for you, but I have respect for people that shows up. Like during the presidential race, before I think he was an independent candidate. He might have been a Democratic candidate too, but before he had endorsed Donald Trump, RFK Jr. was on every single media platform: CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, Newsmax, all the conservative podcasts. He was everywhere. He was everywhere. Same with Cornel West, another independent candidate. He was everywhere. Cornel does that before he was even in the race. He does that now. I love seeing folks that are not scared to have that civil discourse. That's life. That's reality. So I got something to talk about that later on in the program. In addition to that, I gotta talk about Bill Belichick, y'all. I've got to talk about Bill Belichick, the winningest coach, one of the winningest, well, no, probably the winningest coach in the NFL. Um, has the most Super Bowl rings. He in front of our very eyes, it's looking like he is just having not the fairy tale ending he wanted to have in his coaching career. We're going to talk about it. In addition to that, if I have some time, I want to talk about the Turning Point USA tour that will be touring HBCU homecomings. We're going to talk about it. We are going to talk about it because this is a big deal. This is a big deal. A lot of folks are criticizing it, but some folks are saying, "Hey, look, bring it." Right? Look, in historically black colleges and universities, there are conservatives that are members there. Now, the big thing is, are they MAGA? See, Turning Point USA is involving some of their rising black conservative voices that are very MAGA, and that's a difference. I say it again: conservatives is one thing, MAGA is a different thing. We're gonna talk about it here on the Arrington Gavin show. Before we head to a commercial break, though, I would like to open up with a quick a new segment. I spoke about a new segment that we're going to be doing here, and it's going to be called "What is the Role and Why is it Important?" Okay, what is the role and why is it important? So, we all know in politics there are loads of different positions that the public really are unaware of. They do not know. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start from the bottom to the top, right? We know we are familiar with the presidential role, right, with the federal roles, but we're gonna still talk about it and explain the position, but we're gonna start from the bottom all the way up to the top. So for our very first of what is this role and why is it important? School board. Okay, school board. The school board is is a local position, local city position. It's elected or appointed body overseeing public schools in the district. They set policies, approves budgets, and hire the school superintendent. Now, why? Now, this is a huge important role. Why? Because hello, the children. Public schools. Now, this is only directed to public schools, not private schools. Private schools are privately owned, so they can do what they want. They have their own board of directors for private schools, but the public schools, I mean, again, they set policies. So you have this debate between the bathroom policy or critical race theory at the time, or are we going to be banning books in this? All that stuff is established in the school board, as well as approving budgets. Right? We have schools in certain areas that are underfunded, need repairs for this and that. And I'm gonna tell you a great show to actually check out that can build up some knowledge on having an understanding with the school board. Abbott Elementary. My wife and I we love this show. It's one of our favorite shows. Abbott Elementary. It's a multi award winning program created by Quentin Bronson Quentin Bronson. I believe that's her name. Who's the main character? And it's a amazing show. It's great. It's hilarious. And highly successful. Has an amazing cast. Check it out because you will learn stuff from Abbott Elementary. And then you're hiring they hire the superintendents. It's approved from them in order to say, okay, who's going to be in charge of the superintendent for these schools. So that's a key role. As I mentioned, school board. Also, before we head to a commercial break, having successful schools builds up real estate value too. Got to think about that. Because if it has a great school, it must be a great community. If it has a great community, it must have great home ownership and value, because so many folks wants to move in this area or in those selected areas and build up. So you learn something new every day, my friends. Again, that is one of our newest segments here on the Arrington Gavin Show, and it's called "What is this role and why is it important?" Y'all, you're listening to the Arrington Gavin Show. Look, we'll be right back after these commercial breaks. Don't go anywhere, and please do not, and I repeat, do not change that dial.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to
And we still in traffic.
Don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up.
Yeah, that's that new Goat Verse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of that he said?
Introducing GoatVerse TV.
GoatVerse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In goats, we trust.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
rugged is the new smooth.
Let me tell you something that most people get wrong about suits. A suit isn't just about you wearing it. It's how you show the world who you are. It's your handshake before you say a word, your presence when you step into any room. That's why we design statements at Dapper Luke. We don't just make suits. We'll start with the fabrics that tell your story, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends sourced from the finest mills in Italy, the UK, and India. Then we'll combine that with your vision, your personality, and your style. Every detail is tailored to you, from the fit to the finish. Whether for your wedding, a gala, the boardroom, We specialize in creating custom suits that are unique, just like the men who wear them. We've spent years perfecting this craft, apprenticing under designers in New York and showcasing collections in New York and for Baltimore Fashion Week. None of that matters as much as seeing the look on your face when you try on your custom suit. Over 900 clients have already trusted us to deliver the best custom suits. They trust me to deliver the confidence. We proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore and would be honored to bring your vision to life next. Let's create something unforgettable. Book your free consultation today at www.gapperluke.com.
All right, my friends, welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. Look, first up on tap today, look, I want to talk about this new tour happening. It's called BLEXIT. There we go. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. BLEXIT Student Movement. This is an organization co-founded by Candace Owens, which bills itself as the largest conservative minority grassroots movement in the country. All right. So let me go ahead and pull this up on the screen for those who happen to be watching us right now. They are going to be, because it was a viral moment when we saw two individuals, two white males, conservatives wearing, sporting the MAGA hats that appeared at a HBCU. Blanking on the name. I want to say it was Tennessee State, but I could be wrong. But they appeared in honor of Charlie Kirk with the whole table debate us. They had two issues, and then that turned completely left, left for them. That did not work out for them at all. So now they're like, wait a minute, it's homecoming season at HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities. Why not? This is a perfect time to get the message out there. And it's interesting. It really is interesting. So I'm reading an article here. I'll read some of the verbiage from this article from thegrill.com. Turning Point USA takes BLEXIT to HBCUs and push to recruit black students to MAGA. Here's my thing. Now, this is co-founded by Candace Owens. Candace Owens, she criticizes Trump. Now, does that not make her MAGA anymore? I wouldn't say so. But she has been really going ham on Donald Trump. Now, there's nothing wrong with black conservatives. But I do believe that there is a difference between the MAGA movement and conservatives. So what I have currently showing on the screen here is the tour dates, because look, you might be at this university. You might say, hey, look, I got something to say to them. So I'm going to give them the platform and share where they will be at. So this tour will feature conservative influencers, black conservative influencers, Craig Long, Savannah Craven, which Savannah Craven went viral when she was assaulted by a female that she was speaking in the street. And don't get me quoting on the message, but said something that, well, the lady did not agree with, and she was assaulted. Now, look, I don't condone any violence, especially if you're having a civil discourse, or a conversation from two different political perspectives. That should not lead it to violence. But so you have Savannah Craven. I mentioned Craig Long, Stephen Davis, Topher, and Anthony Watson. Now, there's like maybe a few faces that I'm aware of in the conservative movement that I've seen or heard of them before, because again, in the MAGA movement, there's not a lot of brothers that went viral or that was speaking publicly about being a part of MAGA. Now, look, I had on a buddy of mine, Malik Abdul, who's a Republican strategist. You see him a lot on the national networks, CNN, tons of time, Newsmax and Fox, and he is a Republican strategist, and he is a black conservative as well. But let me go ahead and give you these dates, or at least these universities that they will be attending. So we see the schools that they'll be attending: Johnson C. Smith University, Alabama State University, Jackson State University, Tennessee State University, Florida A&M University, North Carolina Central University, Howard University, Hampton University, Bowie State University, and then Lincoln University. Now, the one thing I will point out is that Florida A&M just brought in a new president who is a Black conservative, and I would say she's quite MAGA. So she will be like, "Oh, welcome home. So happy you guys are here. It's hard being, one of the solo ones here." But anyways, let me go ahead and give you just some soundbite of some of these conservatives, Black conservatives that will be a part of this tour.
We are just winning 24/7. This is better than I can ever imagine. Joyless Nequa Reed is fired. Play the clip.
Comments. There's some haters that jump on too, but I appreciate my haters as well, because hating is it's a type of fandom. If you really take the time to go into someone's page that you really cannot stand, and then magnitude of
this one.
So this X post is causing a huge uproar of me and my fellow Black conservatives going to HBCUs to engage in conversations for which apparently the mere act of having conversations of an opposing viewpoint is considered to be a huge no-no, especially when it comes to these ideological slaves, which just goes to show how well these Black liberals have been trained to reject.
How many people you think Black people violently died in the Jim Crow era?
That's too many people to
Violently died in the Jim Crow era. Yep.
That's a great question. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't know the answer.
I'm gonna just say a lot.
Yeah, I feel like a lot.
What if I told you it was around I would say 8,000 to 10,000 people?
How long was Jim Crow era again?
From the 1870s to the 1960s.
That's 8,000 to 10,000. That's a lot of people. That's still a lot of people.
Still a lot of people?
Yes.
What if I told you since Roe v. Wade, over 20 million Black babies have been killed and murdered violently?
Hey. I get it, because some parents, some young women just their minds is not not meant for parenting yet, so they don't understand.
Well, that's what we're here for, man.
That's the thing I don't agree with, because I agree abortion should happen if a health.
All right, so let me go ahead, and that was just a few of the sound bites that I played for you all. And by the way, and I'm not saying that they're all wrong for standing for what they stand for, but here's the thing: be accurate when it comes to information, because let's be honest, there has been times where a lot of these Black conservatives catches themselves slipping, right? They do not all, but a good number of them. And there is such thing as people that do it for the publicity, right? You know how profitable it is to be to probably be a Black MAGA supporter. Well, I mean, let me take that back, because Tim Scott really didn't go anywhere. Byron Donalds didn't go anywhere. Yeah, well, I'll just say Black conservative. I'm not gonna say a Black MAGA, but you'll be surprised. They'll be surprised. There's book deals, there's shows, TV deals. I mean, it is probably lucrative because there's not a lot. But here's my thing is, when you go to these universities, I hope that students do come listening with a grain of salt. Do not listen fully and be like, "What word? I ain't know that. I ain't know." No. See, one thing about me, any people that come to me or show me information, I'll be like, "Oh, okay." I'm always a skeptic. I'm meaning that you can tell me one thing, but I'm still gonna look at it on my own. I'm not gonna fully believe what you tell me. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and be like, okay, I 50% believe you, but I'm gonna look for the remainder for myself. And if the majority is inaccurate, then it's inaccurate. And I'll respond to that and be like, well, no. You thought you had me. Like, for example, the gentleman that was speaking about the abortion issue, right? He said 8 to 10,000 people or slaves, I believe, had died during the Joe Crow era, and he gave them the time span from 1870s or 17 something to the 19 somethings. Or he gave them a long distance, which you heard some of the kids say, oh, no, that's still pretty bad. They said, okay, how about this? What if I tell you that during the abortion period, 20 million violently had died? Violently. Now, again, for those who are pro-life, like extreme pro-life, they will already over exaggerate the stats of saying all is violent act. There is no such thing as a non-violent act. Now, look, I've said time and time again, I'm pro-choice for everything. When it came to the vaccine, pro-choice. When it comes to women's reproductive rights, it's their choice. Why are you asking me? Why are you asking me? That's not my body. It's not. And don't get me wrong, I don't go strutting around and skipping saying, hey, I'm pro-choice. No one's proud to be on the opposing side of abortion, but here's the thing: you have to look at circumstances. Whether this individual was molested, raped, okay. People always assume, well, they still need to have the baby and just put it up for adoption. Once again, who said giving birth is an easy process? Who said that? Hey, fellas, do y'all know how is it easy for y'all to give birth? Because if so, y'all should write a book. Like that's what gets under my skin with that whole issue. But anyways, let me read you a little bit about this. So, homecoming season, 10 historically black colleges and universities is getting a little more interesting in 2025. As I mentioned earlier, BLEXIT, an organization founded by Candace Owens and former Tucson, Arizona police officer Brandon Tatum, currently powered by Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk's organization, is taking a tour called Educate to Liberate to several prominent HBCU campuses throughout the month of October. So probably most likely we'll pass on by the time y'all tune in. According to their website, the mission of the tour is bringing conservative values to life, fostering critical thinking, and sparking powerful conversations on HBCU campuses. I'm not gonna lie though, I'm all for this. I love it. I love seeing the dialogue. As I'm praying it will be safe, which I know it will be, because I'll just be honest. HBCUs always love conversation. They are never gonna, and I'm not. Well, let me take that back, because I'm not saying that's just not HBCU. Corruption and tragedy happens all around us. So I just, at the end of the day, I pray that it will be a safe tour for all of them. I hope that it doesn't get in any aggressive. Now it's going to be some strong debates. But I just think that let's see how the turnaround, how successful will be. Would it bring in a large crowd? Would it bring in nobody? Right? Will they bring in some outside known liberal voices, black voices to the stage? We don't know. It'll be interesting. I've already mentioned who will be participating in it. Their stated goal is to challenge the status quo and champion empowerment, personal responsibility, and the American dream, which HBCUs are the group bringing to the tour. I'm already mentioned on those HBCUs. Let's see here. Let's see. It says, notably, when you attempt to purchase tickets, you are taken to a website that requires you to fill out a form allowing BLEXIT to contact you, as opposed to providing more information about where the events will take place or allowing you to actually purchase tickets. Now, as you can imagine, the idea of a group of conservatives, even black ones, descending upon hallowed black yards during homecoming season was met with pushback, especially considering the group is powered by Turning Point USA, whose founder held and espoused racist and anti-black rhetoric. The founder of BLEXIT, Candace Owens, isn't exactly a non-controversial black public figure. Feminista Jones, a writer and community activist, shared the flyer for BLEXIT on her social media with the caption, the old me would say organized, assemble a counter effort, and shut them down. The new me says ignore them, extinguish their fire with the cool breeze of silence. My young folks, my activists, my kin folks, do not engage, do not debate, do not try to have conversation. Let these people stare at venues with empty seats. That is your protest. The ensuing comments featured various levels of disgust and concern that this event would happen during such a celebratory time during HBCU campuses. Here's my thing. It's like I'm with her for the protest part, because yes, it'll be a wasted time for them, and it's like, why engage with? Because then they're like, why engage with nonsense? That's or ignorance. I'm just saying, on the more liberal side, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what they're saying on the left. On the right, it's like, I love it. I love seeing this. This is opening up a broader audience. Look, we already saw in the last presidential election that Trump increased his numbers of black voters. Again, he didn't get the majority, but he increased the number of black voters. Now, here's the independent side of me. I'm for the conversation. Now, here on this program, I'm not big on debating. I'm not. That's me. But what I love having conversation where we can each speak our piece, why we agree with this issue, I'm not going to say why you're wrong. I'm going to say, well, this is where I look at this perspective. Here's what you look at the perspective. Now, overall, if we try to look for an outcome, that will be the difficulty part, obviously, right? Trying to see which one would maneuver, which one would work out more. How do you come together and say, okay, look, let's bring it in. How can we work this out? That's not the way the world works. But my question for you all is, do you think this will be a success, or do you think it will be a flop? Do you think it will be successful, or do you think it will be a flop? Let me know. You can DM me on Instagram at the Arrington Gavin Show, or you can also shoot me a email. Go by visiting our website. You see the QR code placed there on the screen here at the top corner. But our website, for those who are listening, it is www.theagshow.com. A as in Apple, G as in George, theagshow.com. You can contact me through there, and we'll love to hear your thoughts on that. So let me go ahead and digress from this story. I want to talk a little bit about let's see here. What do I want to do? Okay, let's go ahead, and I want to talk about being held accountable. I mentioned this in the beginning of the show, and the reason why is because recently, former Virginia state delegate Jay Jones, as I've spoken about on the program, found himself in some hot water where old text messages resurfaced after he was out of office. A text message resurfaced of him saying some very, very, very disturbing messages about a colleague of his. So bad that you can say, if elected in office, it could probably have got him sent out of office, in my opinion. So these text messages, y'all, in my opinion, has been a push for the GOP. The GOP in Virginia has been on the losing end of things, right? The House and the Senate is led by Democrats. Now, the governor is a Republican, the lieutenant governor is a Republican, and the current attorney general is a Republican. Lieutenant Governor Winston Earl Sears is running for governor. You got Jason Myers, who is the current attorney general, who's running for re-election, and his opponent Jay Jones, who's also running for attorney general, Democratic nominee. It's a big race, right? And the polling has always showed Dems leading, conservatives not so good. Now the numbers have been narrowing down. Close proximity, they have been narrowing down. So many folks have come out the woodworks and say, look, I'm standing by Jay. I've spoken with him. I told him he has to be held accountable. This is coming from Abigail Spanberger, who is running for governor. She is a former Virginia congresswoman, and she has said, look, told him he's held accountable. He has to realize what this can do to the race and this and any other, and you need to be held accountable. Oh, but the right is eating this up. Like, oh my gosh, they are getting so full. They are just eating this up. Because this has become a national story. Just not too long ago, I was listening to Scott Jennings, CNN political commentator, known conservative voice on CNN, has his own radio show, and he had Jason Myers on. And of course, Scott has a huge platform. Jason Myers has been on all national programming as well as on local programs talking about this. Again, Jay still has supporters, but my question that I brought up in the beginning of the show is that, when elected officials has to hold their own accountable, right? All the time, and I get it, it's a team effort, but all the time they're talking about the opposing party this, opposing party that. And look, let's be honest. How many times have the left went after Trump or Trump loyalists and so on and so on? If something like this occurred for them, they will be using that up as a because all this is a political strategy. This is a campaign strategy now. But I made this post recently on my Instagram, and it was senior U.S. Senator Mark Warner. He refused to answer questions in regards to this Jay Jones incident. Let me go ahead and play it for you.
Senator Warner, do you want Jay Jones to drop out of the race in Virginia?
You haven't actually explained to people what the issue is or why they vote for that guy. They just sent him on vacation.
You want the donation returned? Are those comments acceptable? Senator Warner, do you want Jay Jones to drop out?
So obviously this guy that we're talking to tomorrow, he won't have any particular insight to that.
You want that?
Yeah, you won't know what happened, but it will.
Senator Warner, do you want Jay?
And look, I get it. Because these elected officials, especially Mark Warner, look, I'm a Virginia native, and Mark Warner has been in office forever, okay? And look, it's the same old, right? They, sometimes they don't want to talk to reporters. Reporters are always in their face time and time again, X, Y, and Z. What do you say about this? What do you say about that? Is he in the wrong? Is he in the right? Any words, right? So again, I mentioned that Mark Warner holds a senior position. We have two U.S. senators, Mark Warner and Tim Kaine. Tim Kaine is a junior U.S. senator. And so now they caught up with Tim Kaine. Here's what Tim Kaine, at least he responded, because I'm like this, Mark, I get it. You now you're on the fence because it's like, oh, this is not good. And I've spent the majority of the time on the last program discussing why it's not good for the Democrats here in Virginia. Why? Because any slip up can really affect this election. It can. And we're in the period of where the right, the conservative right, says that the left, the radical left, is the cause of all this political violence. And then you got a gentleman who is running for the highest. Sorry about that. My mic got muted there. Running for the highest law enforcement position above all law enforcement, attorney general, state attorney general, and you're out here making comments like, I'm sorry, what? You got to be kidding me. So here's where they caught up with Senator Tim Kaine, and here's how this went.
Do you still support Jay Jones? You do. What do you do? You think you should drop out of this race after those comments?
I just answered your question.
You have concerns about what you saw?
The comments are completely indefensible. I've known Jay Jones for 25 years, and those comments are very much out of character for him. So if I put the comments, which are clearly beyond the pale, against knowing this guy for 25 years, I'm still a supporter of Jay Jones.
What do you think about Republicans?
I mean, talk about a ride till you die individual. I mean, Tim Kaine said it. He said it best. He said, "Look, I've known for 25 years. The J. Jones that I know is not the person that said those comments. Well, sorry, Senator. It is the same guy you knew 25 years said the exact same words, right? And my thing is, that's not even in a joke. I mean, it's not if he made it as a joke, it was an awful joke. Comedy is not for politicians. But again, these were some extreme comments. They were. And like I said, I've mentioned times I've been to functions in the same room with J. Jones. We might have crossed paths before and, shook hands and that. Extremely nice guy. Extremely nice guy. But at the end of the day, you made a mistake, bro. And in all honesty, this can truly be a hindrance, destroy your chances for becoming state attorney general. Let's be honest. You knew what politics was when you entered into this world. You know that all eyes are going to be on you forever, right? I just don't understand. I do not understand. I'm not going to spend too much time with this, but again, just say lastly, the whole message that I want to bring out of this is the fact that the left, you have folks that are saying we're going to stand with them. You have some that are avoiding the conversation, and those that avoid, shame on you, because at the end of the day, you got to be held accountable. Those within your party represents the party. All right. They represent the party. So if you say, look, I'm voting down blue all about, well, look, you got to have a message for each and every candidate on why you're voting for that person. You do. You really do. Again, we're firsthand. I'm, front and center with the politics that happen in Virginia. For all of our listeners that are outside of the state and even listen to us overseas, because we actually I came across some of our stats in on our podcast listenership. I mean, we have folks that listen to us in Germany. Where else? Sweden. I mean, we're very fortunate to have listenerships out of the country, which, I mean, I thank you. But nationwide, Virginia is a most talked about election, right? We have a governor's race that is very talked about, and now this, I mean, all eyes are on the state of Virginia, and let's see how it ends. I'm going to be doing a possible special, a 2-hour special election night that you can actually tune in on my streaming on my YouTube channel. I'll have that going on there, and we'll probably try and air it on our Instagram as well. But it's big stuff happening, y'all, here. But we got to follow up with you on that one. But as of right now, we got to take a commercial break. I got to take a quick breather. Do not go anywhere. I hope you all have enjoying yourselves. But look, we're going to be right back with more here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Do not change that dial.
Every man has a story to tell. Your ambitions, your achievements, your legacy. Your suit should reflect that story, crafted precisely, designed for impact, and tailored exclusively for you. We work with only the finest fabrics, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends from world-renowned mills in Italy, the UK, and India. These fabrics are the foundation of custom suits that exude elegance and stand the test of time. But a suit isn't just about fabric, it's about fit, and it's about confidence, and it all starts with you. When you work with me, you'll receive a personalized consultation, whether in person or over Zoom. Together, we'll explore your vision and discuss your needs, and we're gonna bring your ideas to life. My journey as a designer includes apprenticing under New York-based designer Clavon Leonard, showcasing collections at New York Fashion Week, Algeria Fashion Week, and the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. That experience is what we bring to every suit we create, from weddings to corporate events and everything in between. We specialize in crafting one-of-a-kind suits for life's most significant moments. Dapper Luke has been recognized as one of Baltimore's best menswear in 2023, and I was honored to be one of the 10 designers selected for the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. With over 900 satisfied clients, we proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore. bringing world-class designs to these incredible communities. We don't just make suits, we craft confidence. Your suit will fit your body, your style, and it will tell your story. Book your free online personal consultation today. Visit www.dapperluke.com.
People age 65 and older are at high risk of injury, especially from falls and car crashes. But older adults can take steps to stay safe from injury and be independent longer. Tell your doctor if you have fallen, if you worry about falling, or if you feel unsteady when standing or walking. Learn more about preventing falls and aging without injury at cdc.gov/stillgoingstrong.
All right, my friends, what's happening? Okay, so I gotta talk about this one here. Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick. It's killing me that I'm even talking about this. But Bill Belichick, who is by far one of the or probably the winningest coach in professional football. Okay, Bill Belichick. Let me just kind of give you his stats here. So Bill, okay, his NFL career, right? His NFL career, spanned from 1992 to 2023. Now, from 2000 to 2023, he was the head coach of the New England Patriots. Okay. His NFL overall career, head coaching career, 333 wins and 178 losses. In the playoffs, 31 wins and 13 losses. As a head coach, he has won 6 Super Bowls, 2 as an assistant, and 2 additional Super Bowl rings as an assistant coach. He was a 3-time NFL Coach of the Year. He was countless awards. His records: most Super Bowl wins as a head coach, most Super Bowl appearances, with 12, most Super Bowl appearances as a head coach, which is 9, most playoff wins as a head coach, 31, most playoff appearances as a head coach, 19, which is tied with that, and then most divisional championships as a head coach with 17. Why in the hell did he need to screw it up and head on to college to take helm of the Tar Heels, become the Tar Heels head coach? Why do you have to do that? This man was already paid. He already had the success. He already had the accomplishments. Why? Why? It was so random, by the way, because UNC was not like a winning program when they were in an awful program, but they weren't a winning program. Like I can see Nick Saban saying, "Okay, I'm retiring. And guess who my successor is? Bill Belichick." No, Bill decided to go to Carolina. Okay, now he's a Southern boy. He's originally from Nashville, Tennessee, but he went on to the ACC to coach the UNC Tar Heels for the lovely price of $10 million a year. Must be nice. Well, look, Bill is also 73 years old. Now, set aside from his coach career, he has made headlines. Well, and I'll bring this up in a second, but he has made headlines in, I think, during and even during his off season as a coach, of his dating life. His dating life has been very public. At the time, he had been dating a lovely lady who, to my knowledge, was very close to his age. Trying to see Well, he was married before from 1977 to 2006. Okay, he has 3 children. Beautiful. He did have a relationship with a executive director of the executive director of the Bill Belichick Foundation, who, as I mentioned, was very close in age. Then that ended in 2023, and then in 2024 he began being seen with a former Bridgewater State University cheerleader and 2024 Miss Maine USA pageant runner-up. The two reportedly met on a flight in 2021 and have been dating since 2023. Okay. She's 24 years old, by the way. 24 years old. The reason why I look so creepy is because it's creepy. For one, it's a huge age gap. And look, don't get me wrong. As a guy, you guys are probably saying, you go, Bill, you got it going on, player. I see you. But no, if you see this couple, you say, I'm a bit sick. I'm like just me talking about it right now. I'm feeling like a bad in my stomach right now, right in that centerpiece of my stomach, because it's disgusting. 73 years old, 24 years old. They met in 2021. So excuse me. It is 2020. It is 2025 right now. 24 hours almost over. So he was just it's just, Bill, why are you dating somebody that can barely drink? Okay. And then on top of that, she's in charge of all his business and stuff like that. They're business partners now. Oh, geez. I mean, she's telling reporters, what to say and this and any other. She's showing up on the sidelines with him 24/7, giving him a little smoochy smooch and this and that. It's sick. I remember, it's funny. They showed a video clip of them at a basketball game. And she has her coat on, but she has her coat hanging off her shoulders. You know how people hold their coats and they just have the arms. And so she's wearing that. Again, she looks like a college student. And then you see Bill with a freaking North Face inside. It looked weird. It looked so weird. And me personally, I ain't trying to, burst nobody's bubble, but I think she's doing it for the bag. She's doing it for the publicity. Her and Bill had submitted 17 trademark applications recently through their company, TCE Rights Management. Among these are phrases linked to Belichick, such as Chapel Bill, Bellastrator, the Belichick Way, Trail of Salty Tears, Gold Digger, No Days Off. Gold Digger. Okay, that doesn't help at all. Anyway. The start of his collegiate coaching career has not been going off pretty good. Currently, he is, as we speak, he is 2-3 in his college career, and he's been having some awful losses. I mean, folks have been leaving the stadium saying, I'm out of here. And there's even some rumors that his job might be at jeopardy, right? So let me go ahead and play the soundbite.
Looks like Belichick's out at UNC just as quick as I expected. As of Wednesday morning, they're talking exit strategy, and he's already discussed buyout options with their hierarchy and a willingness to settle for a $1 million buyout if he can find a soft landing with another team or the media. Now, if Carolina were to fire him without cause, they'd owe him a $20 million buyout. So they're obviously looking for either a mutual divorce agreement or a loophole to fire him with cause. And they may have found their ticket to fire him with cause. As of Tuesday, they busted players for selling their spare tickets. This is an NCAA violation, even in the NIL world. I know. They ended up suspending an assistant coach because of his involvement. And it could be the tip of the iceberg to find other violations from Bill's staff and get out of having to pay him $20 million. Considering Monday's report of a divided locker room, an unstructured mess, no culture, complete disaster, I promise you, Carolina's ready to get him out ASAP. The fact that he's now signaling a willingness to trigger his $1 million buyout instead of trying to fight for the $20 million shows you he knows. Let's make this quiet. Let's make it quick. I'll go out. I'll be gone. This thing's reportedly a fast-rolling snowball. I won't be surprised if he's out in a week. Darn.
So you heard it there said best. If he would get fired, his buyout will be around $20 million. They're even talking about other exit strategies to say, hey, look, he signaled a willingness to trigger his own $1 million buyout if he can find a soft landing with another team or in media. Let me tell you something. Bill should have always just been in media. He should have only been in media. He has nothing to prove. Now, are there some coaches that can use him that could really benefit by having him in the NFL? Yes, but it's so iffy because here's the thing. When Tom left, New England Patriots were not the same squad. And that was still under Bill Belichick. And I've shared this conversation, right? Do coaches create great teams, or do great players create great coaches? Because I know the players will say opposite. They will say, no, Bill had a strict regiment. He led us to this X, Y, and Z. But look, when Tom left, Tom went to another franchise, a losing franchise, and turned around and they became Super Bowl winning champs. Okay. Tom enjoyed his 7th Super Bowl win, not with Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick tried to go through some quarterbacks and players, and it didn't work out. It didn't work out. I'm not saying Bill is a bad coach. I'm just saying that all great things must come to an end. And instead of that coming to an end peacefully, in his career, he decided to say, no, I want to prove I can coach on another high level in college, right? And college is a whole different ball game, right? Let's be honest. It's a whole different ball. He entered in the coaching career. He entered in the college field during the NIL era, where you thought you were coaching kids. You're going from millionaires coaching more millionaires. Now you got kids that you're coaching with a girl or with a girlfriend that is the same age as them, who loves the limelight. She loves the attention. She does. I just personally think that Bill, you're destroying your career. You're destroying your career. You're saying, and I can hear folks say, Arrington, come on, he's not destroying his career. He's still going to be one of the greatest coaches. Yes, he will. But every great career always, if all you need is one viral moment that will never go away, especially the last times folks will hear from you or see you in the public, they'll be like, hey, remember that time? Especially this is they were kissing on the sideline. It was gosh. It's a thought process that I just can't get in my head. And every time I think about it, more and more nasty stuff comes to my mind. I know I'm not the only one, y'all. So chill. I know I'm not the only one. 24 years old. Look, I am 30, and I will feel weird dating a 24-year-old. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I have my number. Well, I'm a happily married man, which my wife is about a year under me, year and some change under me, close to like 2 years. Oh, look at the time. I'm over here running out of time because I'm running my mouth. Y'all, peace and blessings. Be sure to tune into the Arrington Gavin Show weeknight, available on all digital streaming platforms. Make sure you get out there and vote. Remember, your vote is your voice. I'll see y'all next time for another great episode of the Arrington Gavin Show.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin Show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official Substack for exclusive takes and deep dives you won't get anywhere else. We're here every weeknight, same time, same energy, same real talk. Until next time, stay bold, stay sharp, and stay true. That's what we do on the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.